my name is Melissa van Dijk, and in this video you will learn how to properly use the Ordinary AHA 30% plus BHA 2% peeling solution, and how you can also follow it up with the Ordinary Niacinamide and Alpha Arbutin. Now please make sure to watch the video until the end, as I'm going to share some useful information as well as some tips and tricks along the way, plus also where you have to be careful of when also using other products within this routine when using the peeling solution. Now I know that this also may sound a bit confusing with what you can use it and also with what you have to be careful, but I just want to give you like a little breakdown of it. Now, as it already mentions on the bottle, it includes 30% of AHA, which basically means it's an alpha hydroxy acid that's going to exfoliate the top surface of your skin. And it also is a mix of glycolic acid, lactic acid, tartaric acid, as well as citric acid. This is what the alpha, like basically the AHA 30% stands for. And then you have also the 2% of BHA, which is also salicylic acid. And this also deeply exfoliates the skin and also unclogs the pores. So with those two combined, it already exfoliates the skin. And therefore, you also want to make sure that when using your cleanser, also your toner, your serum, etc., that it doesn't include any other hydroxy or like basically acids, which can also again exfoliate the skin, as this may irritate the skin and you also would be over exfoliating the skin, which also in conclusion will irritate the skin. So this is also why it's also important to understand what the peeling solution is and also what it does, and then choosing the right products before and afterwards will be much easier. So therefore, when you're starting off with step number 1, before moving on to the peeling solution, you're going to choose a cleanser that doesn't include AHA or BHA in it. So I have a few cleansers in front of me, like the Cetaphil, you have Vanicream, you have also CeraVe, the hydrating cleanser, or also the foaming cleanser if you like to. Those cleansers do not have on the front, like where it says that it includes salicylic acid, glycolic acid, etc. So this is where you have to look for that you're choosing a gentle cleanser that's also still suitable for your skin type. Now I brought you some examples which cleansers you also, for example, can avoid, which is also, for example, the Roche-Posay Effaclar Micro Peeling Cleanser, as this one includes 2% of salicylic acid, which is BHA, which we already have in the peeling solution. So if you would use a cleanser that already includes 2% of salicylic acid or BHA, this might be too strong when also using the peeling solution. Same also goes with the SkinCeuticals Glycolic Renewal Cleanser. This one already includes 8% of AHA, which is glycolic acid. So therefore, again, it can irritate your skin. And then the last one that I also want to share with you is also the CeraVe as a smoothing or renewing cleanser, depending also what version you have. It markets on the front that it includes SA, which is also salicylic acid, again, which is BHA. The thing with the CeraVe as a smoothing or renewing cleanser is that they are having it like right on the front, but they do not tell you how much is in it. So this is also where I recommend not using cleansers like this, where they do not say how much is in it, so that you also can avoid an irritation. It may be very little in it, but it also may be a little bit stronger. Just the difference is that they do not put it on the front, so that it's also difficult to find out how much of those acids is in it. So this is also where you have to be careful when also using your cleanser and also combining it with the peeling solution. So I'm going to stick with a very gentle one, which is also the Vanicream Gentle Facial Cleanser, as this one doesn't include any acids, and it is also very gentle for the skin. So the first step before you're going to apply the peeling solution is also washing your face with a gentle, neutral and suitable cleanser for your skin type. If you're using a different one, please make sure to read the directions on how you have to use it. Sometimes you have to use it on dry skin, sometimes on wet skin, so make sure that you're also using your cleanser the correct way, so that you also have a freshly washed and clean face before moving on to the peeling solution application. Then use a small amount of your cleanser, use it between your hands and gently also massaging it into the skin. So, and once you're done with also massaging it into the skin, you now can also go ahead and rinse it off with water if your cleanser has to be rinsed off. You can also use a fresh cloth in between to help you to remove the cleanser, but of course this is also personal preference. Now go ahead, take a fresh towel and pat the skin dry. So now you can also go ahead and move on to the next step, which is also applying the peeling solution. Now what's really important is that you're going to apply the peeling solution on dry skin. If you still feel that your skin is a bit damp, then just give it 1 or 2 more minutes so that it also can completely dry before moving on to the application. Now, I'm going to use that time to also now explain how the peeling solution will work. So you're going to use the peeling solution on dry skin. You're going to use it 1 to 2 times per week, which can be only once per week, let's say on Monday. Or if you're going to use it 2 times per week, you can use it on Monday and, for example, on Thursday. Please make sure that when using the peeling solution, give it also a few days in between so that your skin has also the time to recover from it, since it also is going to deeply exfoliate your skin and it's also quite like a stronger mask. So it's really important that you're not going to use it, let's say, on Saturday and Sunday. This would be a little bit too short. There's not really a proper break in between. So I recommend really giving it a few days in between before using it again, if you want to use it also twice per week. And it's also recommended to use it in the evening, since also when using the peeling solution, as it's also going to exfoliate the skin, it also will make your skin sensitive to the sun, which is also important to note that also whenever you're using the peeling solution the next day or when also being exposed to the sun, please also make sure to follow it up with a good sunscreen. So this is really something that you have to keep in mind when also using it. Now the peeling solution has also a few conflicts, which also includes the products that are right here on that list. It also includes stronger acids as well as EUK 134, which is also an antioxidant, and also the peptides. So please keep this in mind when also continue with other products after you're done with the peeling solution. Keep those conflicts products from the Ordinary list also in your mind so that you know what you can and cannot use when also using the peeling solution that specific night. And so when also using the peeling solution, you're going to leave it on for no more than 10 minutes. Please also do not use it on sensitive or peeling or compromised skin, which basically means that if your skin barrier is broken, it can irritate your skin so much that you will also have that stinging or burning sensation going on. So please do not use it if you have a very sensitive skin. Now what you can do if you're new to acids, I recommend starting off slowly. You do not have to use it immediately for 10 minutes and then rinse it off. You can also start slowly. Use a bit on your face area and then you can also use it, let's say, for at first 3 minutes and then you're going to rinse it off. The next time you're going to use it for 8 minutes, etc. So that your skin can get used to it, so that you also can, that your skin is also going to adjust to it, develops the tolerance, so that it also won't irritate your skin. Now what's really important before you're going to even start applying it on your face, since it is also a stronger acid like masque, please make sure to also do a proper patch test. I can link you the patch test of the peeling solution in the top right corner, which is really important to do before applying it even on your face, so that you're making sure that no irritation occurs. If you know that you have sensitive skin, that everything burns or irritates your skin, please do not use it. That's really important as well. Now some people have asked me that with the peeling solution, sometimes they feel a tingling, sometimes they do not feel a tingling, and then they think that the product isn't working for them. Well, you have to keep in mind that not everyone has the same skin tolerance. Some people, when they are new to acids or in general, will feel a slight tingling on their face or neck area when using the peeling solution. And other ones, if they have a very resistant skin, which means that it's also thicker and that nothing can irritate their skin, etc., then you won't feel it. So this doesn't mean that it's not working, this doesn't mean that it's not fake. It just depends on how your skin is basically working. And so that's also something that's really important to keep in mind. Now, my skin is dry, and also could share the main information about the peeling solution, which is really important to also keep in mind when using it. Now, when using the peeling solution, please also make sure when applying it to your face, do not bring it too close around your mouth area, or also avoid the eye contour, and do not bring it on your lid. So avoid the eye area in general, plus the eye contour. And one little tip that I want to share with you, if you're a little bit more sensitive around your nose, as I'm myself, then please do not bring it too close towards the nose like folds right here. And also you can use it depending on your acne. You can also use it on acne as long as your pimple isn't popped, because if you have an open wound, then it can burn like crazy. And I'm talking from experience, so please avoid it. Those two are pretty much healed. There's skin over it, I do not feel anything with it, but if those would be now fresh open wound or fresh pimples, I wouldn't use it over that area. So this is really important. And if you have acne prone skin, you're suffering like from severe acne and have sensitive skin, again, please do not use it. It will burn and sting like hell. This is not what the peeling solution is supposed to do. Please do not use it when it stings or burns. So, now I'm going to start off with the application. Now they do recommend that you're going to apply it with your fingertips, which is totally fine, go for it. However, I also want to mention a little tip if you also want to have a little bit more of an easy application. And this is also using a flat, kind of like makeup brush or cosmetic brush. Make sure that it's clean, that's freshly washed, that nothing is on there when also using it to also apply the peeling solution. Now I'm going to show you both ways. And I know about how much I need for my entire face and neck area. If you're new to it, start off with 2 drops of each area and then blend it all over. See how far you can come, since not everyone has the same size of face. And if you need to add a few drops more, you can do so, but it's not a mask where you have to have such a thick layer, okay? You're going to apply it very thinly all over your face. So if you want to use it with your fingertips, you can either use directly like a few drops on your face and then start blending it, that's totally fine. I like to use it in the palm of my hand and then use my fingertips and then basically start applying it. Now again, please do not bring it too close to your eye area, but the rest you can also go ahead and blend it all around. Now, as you can see right here, depending on how you're going to blend it on your skin, it can foam, that's normal. It can also change its color into a light pink, that's completely normal. That's depending also on how you're going to blend it into the skin and how it also works the best for you. So, this is also how you can blend it with your fingers. Now I'm going to use the brush to also show you how you can use it with a brush. And then you're just going to do sweeping motions. And a brush can also help you to also decide that you'll basically go over it a little bit faster, as well as a bit more even. And you can also just avoid the eye area with it and do not bring it too close. And then if you want to use it on your neck, you can do so. That's personal preference, you don't have to if you don't like to, but it also can be very beneficial. So, and once you're done with the application of the peeling solution, you now can also leave it on the skin for no more than 10 minutes. Again, this is really important, that you're not going to leave it on the skin for no more than 10 minutes. Of course, if you feel like you have enough after 3 minutes, go ahead, rinse it off. If you feel like after 8 minutes, go ahead, rinse it off. This is how you can also build up the tolerance. But if you're going to leave it on for the full 10 minutes, rinse it after 10 minutes. That's really important. So now after the 10 minutes have passed, you now can also go ahead and rinse it off with water. Now when rinsing it off with water, there's no need to also use your cleanser again. Water is enough. If you prefer to not only basically remove it over the sink, you can also remove the mask in your shower. That's totally fine, whatever works the best for you. Now I'm going to exchange my fresh cloth, into a fresh cloth again. And I like to use also a fresh cloth, and I like to wet it again, and then this will remove the cleanser, especially when I'm doing it over the sink, since they also do recommend that when applying it on your face, avoid your eye area as well as the eye contour, as well as when also removing it with water. So if you're doing it over the sink, I recommend using a fresh cloth, wet it, and then start removing it, and then once everything is basically off, you then can also go ahead and splash some water onto your face. So I now go ahead and use a fresh towel and pat the skin dry. So now after the peeling solution, what else can you use? Well, I'm going to share some tips and tricks along the way. Of course, now you can also go immediately into niacinamide and alpha arbutin. But before that, I want to address also a few things when it comes to choosing a toner. Now, when also using a toner, in case you want one, then please also make sure that it's not a toner that also includes peptides, such as, for example, this one. This one includes peptides, and with the peeling solution, one of the conflicts is also do not use it with peptides. So this one would be a pass. If you also have a very sensitive skin at some point, also with fragrance, then I also recommend also avoiding, for example, toners that include fragrance or stronger essential oils, because this also may irritate the skin, depending, of course, on your skin itself. So if you want to use a toner in between, make sure that you're choosing a toner that is also very hydrating, refreshing, feels like a light moisturizer, and that it also doesn't include any of the conflicts, like no strong acids, no peptides or EUK, if it's even possible to get it in a toner. So please make sure to also use something that feels very calming and has maybe aloe vera in it or hyaluronic acid, something that also hydrates the skin. So this is in case you also want to use a toner. Now, one thing that I really want to address when also moving on to the next step, as I've gotten that question many times, and this is also where people would ask me, well, after the peeling solution, can I use glycolic acid or lactic acid also? Please do not use any of those exfoliants when using the peeling solution. The peeling solution exfoliates already your skin, which means that if you now would use glycolic acid on top of it or an exfoliant with BHA, this can irritate your skin quite a lot. Since it's not a low percentage, it still is an acid that also exfoliates the skin. So when using the peeling solution, this is like your exfoliant. You don't need an additional exfoliant when using it. So please avoid any of lactic acid, mandelic acid, salicylic acid, glycolic acid or BHA. This is basically salicylic acid. But please make sure when using the peeling solution, do not use a separate exfoliant. This may be too much for your skin. This can also irritate the skin. So on that day, skip on it. Now, after you're done with also applying your toner, if you want to use one, that's of course optional, then you can also go ahead and move on to niacinamide and alpha arbutin if you want to include those two. Now, both of them are water-based serums, which means that you can also apply them now in the order you prefer. Like the biggest concern that you have is also the one serum that you're going to use at first. If you want to target your hyperpigmentation, dark spots, use alpha arbutin at first. If you want to minimize your pores, even out your skin tone, or also reduce the look of blemishes, then you can also use niacinamide at first, or vice versa. Like there's no right or wrong which one goes first. This depends on your skin concern. Now I'm going to start off with alpha arbutin. And when using Alpha Arbutin, you can use this one as spot treatment, as not everyone has hyperpigmentation all over their face. It may be also just be a specific area or just a few dots that you also want to target specifically. Then you can also use it as a spot treatment. But of course, depending also on your hyperpigmentation, you may also want to use it all over your face. If you want to use it all over your face, then I recommend using between 1 to 3 drops, maybe also a few more, depending also on how much your skin can absorb. Then that's fine too. You can also go ahead and apply it all over your face. However, with Alpha Arbutin, I'm now going to use it as a spot treatment and then later on use niacinamide all over my face. The application will be the same. There's nothing that's going to change, but I want to be very specific and clear that not everyone has the same hyperpigmentation going on all over their face. It's mainly always just a specific area. So let's say you want to target your hyperpigmentation on your cheeks or forehead. I recommend using about a drop. Depending on the size of your hyperpigmentation or dark spots, you may want to use even less. So if you want to use even less, I recommend using 1 drop. Take the other finger and then be very specific and place it on that specific area. And then you're basically going to leave it on the skin. If you have like your forehead area going on, use 1 drop. And then you can also apply it all over your forehead area. That's fine too. Use it wherever you need it. And then you're going to apply it on your face, on that specific area that you want to target. And then you're going to leave it on the skin. Now this is how you can use Alpha Arbutin as a spot treatment. And yes, you can use Alpha Arbutin after the peeling solution. Those two have no conflicts with each other. That's totally fine. Now moving on to niacinamide, which I'm also now going to use all over my face. Again, use between 1 to 3 drops for the entire face and neck area, or maybe a few more if you need to. I'm going to stick with 2 drops, as this is also enough for my entire face and neck area. I like to use it between my hands and then also start applying it all over my face. Now niacinamide and Alpha Arbutin, depending on the way you're going to apply it, it also can foam. Don't worry about it, that's normal. It's because you're going to kind of rub it into the skin, or you can also use padding application, that's fine too. Whatever works the best for you. And the way that you're going to apply it also depends on what you prefer the most. I personally prefer to use it in the palm of my hand, then use it between my hands and also apply it all over my face and neck area. Some people prefer to use their fingertips for it and then apply to your face, or some people also prefer to use immediately the pipette, add a few drops to their face and then start blending it into the skin. So whatever works the best for you, that's also the method that you're going to use. And yes, niacinamide is fine to be used with alpha hydroxy or beta hydroxy acids like AHA or BHA. It's also fine to use niacinamide with retinols as well as also with sunscreen, etc. So those have no conflicts. So you can use niacinamide after the peeling solution. You can also use Alpha Arbutin after the peeling solution. Just make sure that when using those 2 water-based serums, that you're not going to use too much, that you kind of also balance it, and that it also won't leave a strange layer on top of your skin, so that your skin is still able to also fully soak it all up, so that it also won't be too much. Now after you're done with the application of Alpha Arbutin as well as niacinamide, you now can also go ahead, depending also on your skin type, and move on to a moisturizer. Now I want to be very specific. If you have really dry skin, you can go ahead and use also, for example, your favorite moisturizer, or also like a thicker cream that will help you with your dry skin that you also like the most. Go ahead and use it on your dry skin. Or if you have also an oilier skin or combination skin, you can also look for an oil-free moisturizer if you like to, or if you have one at home that you truly love, use this one afterwards. Or like aloe vera is fine too. And also an oil-free moisturizer. So whatever preference you have at home, make sure that your moisturizer doesn't include any peptides, EUK or other strong acids. This is really important. Other than that, you are free to choose your favorite moisturizer. There's nothing wrong with it. Now I'm going to stick with the Roche-Posay Tolerant Ultra Fluid, which I love a lot for my combination skin. And I'm going to use about a pea-size amount for the entire face and neck area. Now if you have, for example, really oily skin and you don't like a moisturizer at all, you may just want to add hydration to your face and basically go only with hyaluronic acid, like with an hydrating serum. That's fine too. You don't have to use a moisturizer. If you have your favorite hydrating serum at home that feels good for your skin, go ahead and use that one instead of a moisturizer. But I still recommend adding some sort of hydration after the peeling solution and also after alpha arbutin and niacinamide. Just make sure that it's also suitable for your skin. This can be a moisturizer or also a serum. So please also keep this in mind. Now, since this is also now an evening skincare routine, as you're supposed to use the peeling solution in the evening, I still recommend then the next day, also when being exposed to the sun, please also don't forget as a last step also a good sunscreen, especially where you use the peeling solution to protect the skin, since it's quite freshly revealed again and the dead skin cells were now removed, which also can make the skin a little bit more sensitive to the sun. Now, of course, don't forget to also use the sunscreen on the rest of your body wherever your skin is being basically exposed, so that you're not getting sunburned. Now, this is also what I wanted to share with you. I also do hope that you now know how you can use the peeling solution, niacinamide and alpha arbutin in one routine, where you have to be mindful when also choosing your cleanser, toner. Please do not use a second exfoliant with it while using the peeling solution. And that's basically all what you need to remember when also using the peeling solution in general. Now, this is also what I wanted to share with you. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did so, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well as share it, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye!